Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2026 NBA All-Star Draft, the fourth annual that we've done here on the podcast, the sixth annual that me and my guests have done in real life. On today's show, we are going to go over the best way to bet on the 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend, and we are going to give out who we think at the midseason point would win each award: MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, etc. We will give our midseason awards votes. We will add a player to each of the contests and give this is a player that we would love to see be invited to the slam dunk competition. I already know I have the best one. This is a player that we wish joined the 3-point competition. So we will do that, and then we will go through. We're going to draft teams for the NBA All-Star Weekend and turn that into a fun betting game. But before we get started and bring in the two guests that I have joining me for the fourth time here on the podcast, we do it every year. It's something that all of us look forward to. Going to break down a little bit of math, talking about calculating theoretical hold in the market, why it is important to be aware of, and why that creates this specific opportunity where the best way to bet the All-Star Weekend is through a draft with your friends. So let's talk about calculating theoretical hold and what actually is theoretical hold in a betting market. The term theoretical market hold references how much a sports book's rake rate is, how much of a house cut the book is expected to get. So when you bet into minus 110 odds, you know that the book is taking in $110 from the loser, paying the winner their $100 that they won, assuming everyone bets 110 to win 100, and they're leaving with that $10 tax from the loser, and that they paid out the extra 100 to the winner. So that creates a rake rate, a return to player difference in what the player returns, and the book keeps it. And that's how sports books make their money. They charge you guys a VIG, a tax kind of on your bets. So to calculate a theoretical hold and understand how much money in this market is the book expected to make, what you do is you calculate the implied probabilities, and we will go through it with the 3-point contest this year. You calculate the implied probabilities of all the bettable options in the market. You sum up the totals of them. They are going to be north of 100%. You subtract 100%, and what you're left with is the book's theoretical rake rate, their theoretical market hold, the synthetic hold, a lot of terminologies that are used to describe this. Now, the reason why it is theoretical or synthetic market hold is because books don't actually care about having even money on both sides of a line. They're not trying to get a 50-50 handle on a line. What they are trying to do is best represent in their prices the chance and the probability of 50-50 on either side of a line actually happening. So sometimes they'll have 70% of the money on one side and 30% on another. I'd actually say it's pretty rare for a sports books to have a clean, even 50-50 or within the 52.38 range that a minus 110 bet is. So what you do is you're going to first calculate all of the implied probabilities in the market. So I am going to share right now on the screen the FanDuel odds for the 3-point competition, and I will highlight to you guys why actually betting this at a sports book is objectively a terrible decision. I'm going to get into that. So we have here all of the players and their listed odds. Con Knipple, the odds-on favorite, young rook, plus 380. Jamal Murray, plus 600. Dame Lillard, coming off the injury reserve to participate, plus 390. Devin Booker, despite his inefficiencies shooting this year, a plus 550. So we have all of these odds in the market. And so to calculate the implied probability of an underdog, because all of these are underdog lines, if you need to know the formula for a favorite, just go look it up. It's slightly shifting around the numbers, but the formula is 100 divided by the odds that you're betting, X, we'll call it X, plus 100. So for Con Knip, it'll be 100 over 380 plus 100. So 100 over 480. And then you times that by 100% and turn it into a percentage. Then you do it for every single person in the market. Dame Lillard would be 100 over 490. Devin Booker, 100 over 650. Jamal Murray, 100 over 700. And you keep adding these up until you get everybody priced in the market and you will get a number above 100%. Now, what I did was I actually went into Grok, and I am going to show you guys how you could even leverage AI to help you guys do some of this for you. And what you'll do is just say, hey, Grok, calculate the implied probabilities of these odds and then sum them into a total. So I listed them all here before we started the show. I will click go. We will see what Grok does for us on the fly. I assume it is going to turn all of those into percentages, and then it is going to spit out sum of all implied probabilities is 113.61%. So I actually have not double checked this, but I'm just going to naturally assume that this is correct. It's pretty spot on to what I would imagine. You subtract 100% from this, and you have a 13.61 rake rate. So for every $100 that you bet, the book is going to make $13 on that bet, theoretically. In a normal game-to-game market, it's sub 5% with minus 110s on either side. So therefore, what this shows us is that the edge that you need to properly bet into this market and justify it as a good bet is staggeringly high. You need to have a much bigger edge betting lines in a 13.6% market hold that would make it plus EV in the end than a minus 110 line. You're not going to see vast amount of line movement. Even if you do get a solid line movement on your side, it is going to be still hard to make that CLV, have it justify and overcome this theoretical hold. So pretty much any bet on the 3-point competition is highway robbery at FanDuel. So I refuse to put my money in that market. If you want to claim account health and looking like a schmuck, sure. If you want to just claim like you just don't care about your edges, sure. But if you're watching NBA betting with Fiddle, I assume you care about your edges in the market. So this says that you have a 13.61% house cut for betting the All-Star 3-point competition at FanDuel. That is atrocious. It is going to be really hard to beat that. If we just pull up Google, I will share this screen as well, and we type in theoretical hold sports betting. Listen to what the AI tells us. Theoretical hold in sports betting is the percentage of total money wagered that the sportsbook expects to keep as profit. It typically ranges from 2.5 to 5% for standard 2 market wages. It represents the over round or the sum of implied probabilities exceeding 100%, also often referred to as the juice or the vig. And so you keep coming down why it matters. A higher hold means a higher break-even win rate is required for the bettor. A higher hold is often found in futures, props, and less efficient markets, which should generally be avoided. Goal: successful sports bettors aim to lower hold percentages by shopping for the best possible lines around multiple sports books. So that is what we do day to day on the show. And so on today's show, we are not going to give out bets on the 3-point competition because objectively that's going to be bad advice. Now, I'm sure there's a way where someone could explain that, yes, there are edges and ways to find nice gaps in the market in these contests and justify it. I am not that guy. I really don't know. I'll just own my weakness here, and I don't really think it's much of a weakness. I don't know. I don't care too much to detailed study the 3-point competition. I'm sure it's about like your release time and your release consistency or what your vertical is as it relates to the slam dunk competition. It's probably some minute stats that deliver small edges, and it would be hard to justify any of those as actual good bets. So that is a brief explanation of theoretical market hold, why it matters, how to calculate it, and what to be aware of when betting some of these markets. And it's an explanation of why I don't really do futures. I don't really bet into MVP odds or defensive player of the year. We're going to give out our votes for who we would say, but not project who we would win and what's going to be betting value. I do bet win totals because those are minus 110 each side, over under a certain number. And so some of them can be great spots, but I stay away from markets with high hold because high hold means lower edges, and I like my edges to be nice, quantifiable, and large. So I'm going to bring in two guests who are frequent here on the podcast, Gibby and AV. Gibby, I want to throw it to you first. Did that make sense what I was just describing? Because you do a lot of betting yourself, AV, just an avid basketball follower and not much of a bettor. Did that make sense? Are there any follow-up questions that you have that maybe listeners might have been confused on when they heard it firsthand? You're muted. Hold on.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I had no idea that the edge was like that for awards. So it's kind of surprising to see the difference between like a day-to-day bet and what the awards are. Because I was going to say, like, you answered it, but I was like, do you ever bet any of these awards, any futures? Is this the same for like NBA championships as well? Like, if you look at the future champions,
title odds, yep. So yes, it's very similar. We can do it off air and go through them, and I'll send you what the list is. But yeah, a game-to-game market has a 4.76 house edge. And then if you beat the market, right, and you're betting into a 2.38 because you're betting a -110, -110 equals 52.38 implied. And so that's going to translate over to like you need to gain 2.5% edge on your bet to justify it. And so, because we've done some betting together, I like to bet a number -4 that ends -6 before the game tips off. And I'm all about beating the line. That moving number, I say, okay, there's a 5% chance this game lands -5 by the favorite. There's a 5% chance this game lands on the 6, and I've acquired that as a winning number instead of a push. So I've gained 7.5%. So I have a 57.5% chance to win, but I paid 52.38. To be able to do that is so hard to justify in futures markets. And riddle me this, fucking fiddle me this. I don't know how it's possible. You also have to tie up your money for months.
Right.
You have to tie up your money for months and get a worse edge, and the house takes more. They should pay you. They should give you no hold. They should give you completely true odds if they could hold your money in a pending wager for 8 months. So yeah, that's primarily why I stay completely away from futures bets. And I hope that anything else that's needed. AV, do you want to add anything on top of that? Do you have any questions?
I mean, now I'm thinking that these long-term bets, these sports books should be paying you out like a 3% high yield interest rate just to hold your money through the year, win or lose. So that should happen. And my other takeaway is like for people who have an edge or know the odds and are doing this to make money, bet on the gambling sites all you want. For people like me who I just want to have fun and I like the game, bet with your friends on things like this. Like you'll still get the same enjoyment of like watching the game and betting and like looking for random things that you normally wouldn't care about. And you're not giving up, what could be 10%, sounds like 13%.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we do it this way. We eliminate hold in the market through doing this draft. That is exactly what we are doing here today. We are going to have a no hold NBA All-Star Weekend betting experience. This is the 4th annual draft of this on a show. AV, we did this with my brother, and then we looped in Gibby. So I believe it is the 6th time that we've actually done it in real life, 4th year that I've actually had a podcast and we've brought it onto the air. I think it's something that the three of us look forward to. We talk about it like a few times throughout the year of like, oh, looking forward to the draft. Can you explain what the draft process is and how it works for the listeners?
Yeah. So essentially, there are 3 events, the 3-point shooting contest, the slam dunk contest, and it used to be the skills, and now it's a shooting stars contest. And instead of drafting players within each category, everyone is available from the first pick. So the 3 of us are going to draft, and we're each going to get 5 players this year. So there are 16 people available. We kick Bobby Portis out. That's 4 dunk contest people, 4 3-point shooter, 8 3-point shooters, and 4 shooting stars. So that's 16 minus Bobby Porter's 15. So each of the 3 of us will have 5. We'll do a snake draft order. I'll do a randomizer to pick the squads, and we go through them. And normally, each of us sort of have different strategies each year. I remember the year where I'm like, I'm going to get as many dunk contest people as I can. If I can get to 3, then I've cornered that market. I automatically make my money back if we go, $50 a category, let's say. And then I can focus on other things. I think one of the things that we love about it is the events, other than the 3-point contest, which I like, they sort of suck, and it makes us root for people we normally wouldn't care about. And in the end, because of the nature of how we're splitting it up, it's almost always that we each win one competition and go home with our money. So
this is what normally happens.
It works out.
Okay, so
Um,
you'll pull up a randomizer, but before we
Yeah.
do that, and just hold on 1 second before announcing the order. Also, I remember when Gibby took Mac McClung, I think last year, like first pick in the draft, Gibby goes, "I'm taking Mac McClung." I'm like, "You idiot!" I'm like, shame on me. I'm clearly the idiot here. Let's do a quick midseason check-in for who we would vote for each of the awards. Not, and I just want to preface this, I just explained why you probably shouldn't bet on it, and you could do the same thing in the betting market for it and calculate all the implieds, turn them into a sum total. It's going to be north of 100, subtract 100%, and understand how much of the rake rate you are losing to the book and what their house edge in that market is. I don't really bet those. I think it's important for people who are trying to bet the awards to understand, to separate who they would vote for versus who they think would win, right? There's a difference in who I would vote for. That doesn't mean there's value in the odds because they're low down on the list and they might actually win. Think about who actually would win and how that's going to turn out in the voter pool if you're aiming to bet it. I think that's a common misconception of people being like, how could this guy be 50-1? He would be my pick. Well, because he's not the pick of the normal standard criteria for this award and he doesn't fit the bill totally. And so I have a perfect player for that in most improved player. And like, I'm like, that's who I would vote for. What we're going to do now is do who we would vote for, right? Like, who is your choice for MVP right now? We'll go through all of the categories. And Gibby, I know you have all the categories listed. So we'll start with MVP and we'll go to you first.
MVP, was debating 3 people, SGA, Jokic, and Cade Cunningham were the 3
Nice.
that I went with. I really want Cade, but it's hard to argue against SGA and what he's done as long as he plays enough games after this ab injury he has. I think they're the best team. He's the best player. I think he still is deserving of the MVP award this year.
AV?
Yeah, I mean, Gibby knows I love Cade too, so I'm pumped he's included in that. I think one of the only ways that SGA doesn't win is if Cade carries Detroit to a number 1 seed overall, then he has a chance, and then also other people have a chance. So for me, it's Jokic if he plays enough games. The Nuggets are a top 3 seed. He has done somehow more than any other year to help his team. I don't know how that's possible. He's been a freak. They're winning. Guys like Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, Cameron Johnson, all hurt or not playing the same. So it's probably him for me. If he doesn't hit it, and SGA is out for a while, and some of these other guys fall off, Jaylen Brown for me is in legit consideration if they can get a top 2 seed. The roster around him, again, crazy bad, and he really passes the eye test. When they need a bucket, they can give him the ball, and he is just going through people.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Obviously, JB having a great year, Cade having a great year. My choice, my vote personally would be Jokic. When I still watch Jokic or watch SGA, I just think Jokic is another level of player. I think he's the second best player I've ever watched in my lifetime besides LeBron. I don't do the whole MJ versus LeBron discussion because I barely watched MJ growing up. I don't really remember it. I wasn't in the weeds. I wasn't watching day-to-day Bulls games by any means. I wasn't betting on it. I had no value conception of these guys. So in like my prime career, it's, Tim Duncan, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, those kind of players. I would go Jokic is the second best player in my lifetime that I've ever watched. And he's still leaps and bounds ahead of SGA for me personally. So I'm going to go Jokic as my MVP. Gib, you had a shocked reaction when I said that.
Our age, and you're saying he's better than Kobe, is blasphemous.
I was gonna go same squad. Those 2 years with Shaq and the Lakers, and I'm a huge LeBron fan, is the best I've ever seen someone. Given that Mike was, I'm too young to see him this prime.
Yeah,
you guys, you're going Kobe in those few years.
No, I picked Shaq.
Okay.
I said give me Shaq in Shaq's 2 prime years. I mean, that Jokic is crazy, and he's in this category, which is unreal. But for me, like that Shaq prime, the LeBron prime, Mike prime, yeah.
Well, we'll see how long the Jokic one goes. But yeah, I think he's the second best player I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Okay, defensive player of the year. This one's easy for me. It's Wemby. I think he's clearly playing 20 minutes a night and playing back-to-backs and gunning to be as a candidate for the awards. He clearly cares about this stuff. The concept for me voting for Wemby is he has the most obvious impact defensively, where like guys won't even look at the rim sometimes when they get into the paint and he's there. I understand Chet's, rim protection metrics are amazing. Collectively, the Thunder defense is amazing. I understand from a voting perspective, sometimes you go most important defensive player on the best defensive team. I'm more of like, swap these two players. Does the team get better? Swap Chet for Victor. The Thunder defense gets better. You can't say the same for the Spurs. So I would go Wemby for my defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I mean, they are in different roles. Wemby is the whole defense. They're doing everything. OKC is a great defense, and he sort of anchors it. I love rewarding a team because the defense is such a team scheme. You can't play a defense depending on how your 1 and 2 can guard on the perimeter, but it has to be Wemby. And it's an unexciting year for what should be the most exciting defensive player of our time. So maybe this will be the first one he wins in a row of 8 in a row, which will be sick. But this award should be fun, and it's not this year.
Gib, who you got?
I had Wemby, but I do want to shout out Scotty Barnes.
Yes.
Because if I have a defender who can take on 1 through 5, it's Scotty Barnes, not Wemby, because I don't think Wemby's quick enough to stay in front of small guards. And I know this award is always, geared towards big guys. But Scotty Barnes, if I'm thinking about the most versatile defender, it's Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, and just shout out to Rudy because he's still in the conversation as well. We'll keep moving on. Gib, what's the next award that you have listed, and who's your vote?
Nice.
Most improved is the award. And I like to think of this award, and I know people have different definitions of this award, as the guy who went from like nothing to a rotation or better guy. So I'm actually going Jalen Tyson with this award.
Ooh.
On the Cavs. I've watched, weirdly, a lot of Cavs this year, and I think he's an incredible piece. Like, he is really good. He's enabled them to do a lot of different things, and when guys have been traded or hurt, and on Cavs, people are hurt all the time, he's really stepped up and really been a big piece. And, like, last year, I barely knew who he was, and this year, I just think he's like not just like a starter, but like a good starter in the league. So Jalen Tyson is my pick.
Okay, I think this is the award where it makes no sense who wins it and what the criteria is. And I think this is the award that I was kind of hinting at earlier. People look for long shots that they would vote for and bet on Jalen Tyson because Gibby's like, oh, I would bet on, he would be my vote. Gib, you're aware when saying that there's no chance Jalen Tyson wins this award.
Right?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
100%. I don't think that's controversial at all to say. Like, he's in the top 10 on the odds right now, but he's not going to win the award. But it's a great pick because he's improved an absolute ton. This award, it's so hard to figure it out. Like, Ja Morant won it one year when he was literally an all-star the year prior, and he got the award and he gave it to Desmond Bane. So he was like, actually, Bane is the most improved. What do you got to say?
But voters have showed for this award specifically, they much prefer that jump from tier 2 to tier 1 than tier 10 to tier 4. Right. I don't know why. I think it's way more fun with the diamond in the rough type players. But
so I think we should have multiple most improved awards. And like, how like they named the Eastern Conference Finals after Larry Bird and Magic Johnson is the Western Conference Finals. Like, there should be someone who we claim the star to superstar jump and name that most improved, and then have a secondary most improved from like nobody to rotation player. Who would you have for most improved right now, AV?
I want Keontae George. In a similar situation, I think it should be JJ because he's taken that step into the first tier and actually matters for winning, carries a team. And my boy Keynote George is on the Utah Jazz, and they try and lose, but he's so much fun. He was thought of as a tank commander that was like somewhat interchangeable with Isaiah Collier and Colin Sexton. And if you watch him, he's, for me, the most Allen Iverson player in the league other than Kyrie. He's nice.
Okay. Yeah, it's Denny and Jalen Johnson who are running away with this in the voting. Some honorable mention names that are out there. Nikhil Alexander-Walker is third. He's been fantastic and very improved in his new role. Keontae George is 4. Jalen Duren, first-time All-Star, is 5. Ryan Rollins is 6. That makes absolutely no sense. 7th in the odds is the guy that I would vote for, and he's the guy who went from nobody to like integral role player and part of a very successful team. I'm going Colin Gillespie for this right now. I think he's been fantastic. The Suns vastly have overperformed. They had a preseason win total of 31.5. They already have 32 wins at the All-Star break. So they are absolutely balling right now. They've dealt with Booker being out and injured for a bit. They now have Grayson Allen out and injured for a bit. Gillespie has been fantastic. He would be my choice for this award. Just looking at the odds right now, I do think Keontae George, probably AV's pick, is going to fall off the second half of the year because he did have the ankle injury, and the Jazz are going to milk that ankle injury as long as possible. So as of now, Keontae, but if anyone has betting stock in Keontae, I would look to cash out or sell off of that, as soon as possible, because it's clear that one's going to go the other way. That impacts my 6th man of the year, which I'll go straight into this, guys. If you asked me 2 days ago, you know who I would have had for 6th man of the year?
Who?
Isaiah Stewart.
Because Detroit's winning and he matters?
Detroit is winning. He is so obviously their 6th man. Like Anthony Black is high up in the 6th man voting, but he's been starting for so much of the year. He's obviously their 6th man. He directly comes off the bench. The on-off numbers stay very much the same when he's on versus Duren's on. He's been efficient incredibly from inside and out. He's shooting the 3. His defensive numbers are elite. So yeah, if you just like the stats don't pop off, but the impact metrics are outstanding for Beef Stew. So I know it typically goes to like highest scoring bench player. This was like the one year that I thought, and I was like really considering betting it. I was actually going to bet this one because I was like, this is the way to reward the Pistons this year. It's going to be Beef Stew who's going to get some like late season love when all of the NBA podcast nerds start doing their projections and like, what about Isaiah Stewart? And it's going to kind of like take off the same way Marcus Smart did for Defensive Player of the Year a few years ago when he actually won it. Came out of left field like a month before the end of the regular season. Isaiah Stewart would have been my choice. Now with no Isaiah Stewart, clearly I think that this is going to be a detriment to his case for him to be suspended 7 games. It won't disqualify him, but all but disqualified, I think, is the correct terminology. I'll go Jaime Jaquez. I'll fit into the traditional high point scorer. But yeah, consistently off the bench, also majorly improved this season. Jaime in his 3rd year, amazing footwork. He's the go-to guy, ball in his hands with any bench lineup. So I'll go Jaime Jaquez as my 6th man.
It was 100% AJ Mitchell for me until he got hurt. That not only similar to Detroit was that team so good, but he was nice. He fits in with a lot of their second units. He can run it when SGA's out. He can play off ball. He defends. He's a little bigger. I don't know. It doesn't sound like he's coming back immediately, but he's close. If for some crazy reason he hits the minimum number, I would still like him. Other than that, my choice is, you already talked about Colin Gillespie. I like him for a lot of the reasons that I actually don't think he should even be allowed to be an option here, because he's been asked to do so much for his team, to run the squad as a point guard on a team that's actually winning some games and in the West. But when he's done most of that work as a point guard, filling in for the injured Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Jalen Green's been out, he's the starting point guard for that team. He's playing 30-plus minutes a night. He's doing most of his work on like a starting point guard, run the offense around kind of guy. So it's if he's an option, give me him. But it almost shouldn't be, because that's not a 6th man.
I don't think he's an option. Who would you go up besides Gillespie?
And AJ's out too?
No, you can choose AJ. You want to stick with AJ?
Give me AJ. Give me
okay.
AJ.
Gib, who's your 6th man?
I was going to choose Anthony Black, but I think you're also against him being an option because he started.
I'm not against him being an option. I know our producer Ian in the back, who does a lot of player prop data, really likes Anthony Black, and like actually as a bettable option likes Anthony Black. And the Magic are just getting healthy now. Franz back and on a minutes restriction tonight. Anthony Black's still starting as we're recording this podcast on Wednesday. But I do think you're going to have the whole back half of the season where he's going to be coming off the bench and like maybe the Magic put it together and he springs ahead. I'm fine with Anthony Black.
Yeah, I think Anthony Black would be my choice. I also want to give him consideration for most improved because, like, when I watch him play, he's a real deal, and he's like way more athletic than I thought he was originally. You see some like pretty awesome highlights from him as well. But I think we also need to discuss like Naz Reid. I think he's the betting favorite. It's just a pretty consistent scorer off the bench, but I think an unexciting pick, and I wouldn't choose him.
So Naz Reid is the odds-on favorite. If you didn't just say that, I was going to ask you guys, do you even know who the favorite in the betting market is for this? Because like I'm pretty surprised it's Naz. I don't think he's going to win, which probably opens up like some real opportunity. Do you guys know who's second in the odds right now? Jaime Jaquez is third. Anthony Black is fifth. AJ Mitchell is fourth. Who's second behind Naz Reid?
Grayson Allen.
Gib?
I have no idea.
Keldon Johnson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not too exciting.
It's just a big game stuff. Randomly.
Yeah.
Point outburst.
I mean, these Bill Simmons talks about this having like the awards be of different value every year with like bigger MVP trophies for better MVPs. The sixth man of the year is often a sick award. It is not this year. Rookie of the year, often a sick. Defensive player of the year, often awesome. Not this year. Don't really care. It's just like some years it pops, and some years it's like, yeah, there was no standout.
The person who took a lot of betting market steam before the year for sixth man was Jordan Clarkson, because they're like, oh my God, scorer off the bench for the Knicks. Knicks finally going to not play their starters 100 minutes. You know, they're going to be more offensive under Mike Brown instead of defensive under Tibbs. Like, oh my God, Jordan Clarkson, he's nowhere to be found. So that ticket's dead.
And, you know, on the other end, if the Knicks had been where they should be in a top 1 or 2 seed and McBride had never gotten hurt, it could have been McBride. McBride provided a lot for them.
That is very, very true. Okay, we got 2 more, Coach of the Year and then Clutch Player of the Year. Let's rattle them off 1, 2. AV, you could go first. Who is your Coach of the Year and then Clutch Player?
My coach is Missoula. If they get a top 4 seed, and it looks like they're gonna, I love him from an entertainment standpoint, but mostly it is sort of incredible what he's doing and the lineups he's putting together, and that every player loves being there. You know, they leave at the end of the year, like Anthony and other people, and they're like, I would love to come back. So, you know, if they fall out somehow and the Pistons get the 1 seed, okay, give me JB, but otherwise I want Missoula.
And Clutch?
Ant, but don't care about that award this year either. Haven't felt like it's been an especially clutch year.
You have exactly my 2. I would go Missoula. I'd actually put Jordan Ott above Bickerstaff myself. I mean, I just feel like the Pistons have showed steady progress, but like the coaching job this year of Missoula and Jordan Ott speak volumes to me. And then if I wasn't going to go Ant, I would go Maxey in Clutch Player of the Year. But again, don't care too much of it. The Sixers find themselves at every game in some sort of clutch 5 points in 5 minutes or less situation. Typically that award based on criteria just goes to whoever scored the most points in those situations, within a 5-point game, 5 minutes or less. And so we've seen like De'Aaron Fox and Brunson and Curry win those awards in the past. That fits the bill for Tyrese and Ant pretty heavily this year. Gib, Coach of the Year and Clutch Player, and then we'll move on to the meat of the show, the All-Star Draft.
I had 2 Pistons for this. I had Bickerstaff and I had Cade for Clutch Player.
Nice. Okay, we can combo award the Pistons here because they're gonna. That's, you know, we're looking like AJ Mitchell maybe gets 6 man. I wanted Beef Stew to get 6 man. Maybe Chet gets Defensive Player of the Year. So you do have to reward the best teams somehow in the awards market. Okay, before we get into the actual draft and AV spits out the order for us in a randomizer, really fun caveat that I added this year was add a player to the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, and we do not have a skills contest this year in the NBA. The final year of the skills competition will be when Chris Paul and Wembanyama got themselves disqualified for throwing the balls and not even trying to shoot it, making a complete mockery of the event?
Strong disagree. I love that they actually tried to win and they thought about it and game the system. I agree they got DQ'd and they killed the event, but I love that Chris Paul was like thinking beforehand, being like, I figured it out. We're going to beat this game.
I wholeheartedly agree. And they're like, check the tapes. We asked the refs. And then there's like clips of Wembanyama like going up to the ref and he's like, what if we just throw the balls? And the ref's like, yeah, it's fine. You just got to shoot 3 shots. And then once it happened, this is when Adam Silver turned into David Stern, made the phone call. He was like, do not fucking give them the trophy for that. Like, they are disqualified. I don't care what the rule says. We're not doing that. But anyways, no more skills competition. It's become the shooting stars where I think they shoot a free throw, 3-pointer, and then half court shot. And they have to make all 3 in however fast you can. And there's like Team Harper, which is like Dylan Harper, Ron Harper Jr., Ron Harper Sr. There's a Team Cameron Indoor, which is 3 Duke players. There's Team All-Stars, which has like Chet and Scotty Barnes on it. There's Team Knicks with Kat Brunson and Allen Houston. So we'll also make up a third team for the Shooting Stars competition. So AV, we will start with you. Who are you adding to the 3-point contest?
So if I actually got to pick anyone in the world, I want Steph in it every year. You gotta pick the best. I'm not gonna have many more years of him, but he's a less fun option. If I really get my pick, I want Jokic and I want Kat in, and I want to duke it out for best shooting big man behind Dirk.
I love the Jokic and Kat. Put him in the. Didn't they used to do a few years where they did like a bigs bracket and then a small guards bracket? Kevin,
I think it was only a year or two. They definitely did a big and a littles bracket for the skills competition, so that the little guys weren't running around them.
I think they did it for the 3-point as well, and Kevin Love might have won it last year. Gibby, who are you adding to the 3-point contest?
I had 2. So if I had anyone in the world I could choose.
Gibby's like, I'm putting myself in.
No, as a joke, I put Caitlin Clark. I think she'd be awesome to have.
Nice.
But if it was an NBA player, LaMelo Ball. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a great one.
I don't know if he's a good shooter or not. Because he hits like crazy shots.
Crazy shots.
I don't think he does it overly efficiently. So I want to know, is LaMelo a good shooter or not? And this would be a good test of it.
That's actually, I think that's going to be the best one. Yeah, I went, mine here aren't great. I'll make up for it in the slam dunk because I've mastered the slam dunk competition here. I went with like a Luke Kennard or an AJ Green or Grayson Allen. One of those just like people who have, let's go Luke Kennard, like insane efficiency, but all of it is like catch and shoot open looks. And so let's get him like in some movement on the floor, like, you know, having to do something with like some endurance and stamina in it. And let's then be able to compare it to some of the guys who do a lot more on ball, like Donovan Mitchell, and still put up a ton of numbers, but worse percentages. Let's see what Luke Kennard would do in this kind of format and help us create a barrier, like the Kyle Korver-esque guy compared to the, you know,
I mean, that's the 4th white boy you've named. I see what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get some white boys in the competition.
No, I'm going Luke Kennard. All right, let's go slam dunk. AV, who are you putting in the slam dunk competition?
Same. I did like if I could actually have anyone, Ant would be awesome. Best in-game dunker plus personality plus like biggest for the game. But then since I can't get him, obviously, give me Shaedon Sharpe. He is catching bodies on people. His like cockback going through the lane on bigs is the best in the league right now.
Gibby, if you take mine right now, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. But go ahead. Who are you putting in the slam dunk?
I'm putting Bronny James in the slam dunk.
It's the obvious answer. It's the obvious answer. Bronny's in the slam dunk contest. AV. Scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to actually watch the slam dunk competition when it's live and going on at the time?
The way it's been for the last 10 years, unimportant.
If Bronny was in it, does it become appointment viewing?
Yes, as it does with Ant, as it does if his Papa LeBron was in, not with Shaedon Sharpe, but I agree it becomes appointment viewing. I went and saw a Nets game the other night. It was the Lakers game. Not only were more Lakers fans than Nets fans, by far the biggest applause of the night was for Bronny and cheering to get Bronny in and Bronny scoring his first bucket. By far.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer. Bronny would be the choice. Gib, do you have any runners up? I have one runner up. It's the obvious correct answer.
It was Bronny James, and I didn't think about it for too long. I was like, it's Bronny. I want to see Bronny in it.
Yeah, he's got supreme bounce too. I'm so pissed you took it. I went VJ Edgecombe then. Okay. I feel like that's a fair person added. Like, could legitimately compete. Small guy with insane bounce, rookie. Like, you often see some younger emerging stars do it, and people are likening him to the next D Wade. So let's go with VJ Edgecombe, Bronny James, and Anthony Edwards added to the slam dunk competition. That would be fucking sick. Make a shooting stars team, AV. Who you got?
That's tough. I mean, for me, I sort of like the family format with the Harpers in there. If you can find as many other full NBA blood families, I start at the top with the Jameses and the Currys, but that would be pretty awesome to be like, you can only compete if you can field a full family of Hoopers.
So who would it be? Bryce, Bronny, and LeBron?
Yeah, Bryce, Bronny, and LeBron, and you got Steph, Seth, and Dell. And yeah, can we get? I guess you already have the Harpers. There's probably not a ton of other options. And you could get Gary Trent Sr. and Jr. And can we get a third? He's probably got a brother. The Ball family. Shout out Ian. Nice.
You get Lonzo.
That's
Lonzo,
a great
LaMelo,
choice.
D'Angelo.
Great answer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
Perfect 3 number.
Yeah, it's hard to get. It's hard to get threes. You can get the Holiday brothers: Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday, Drew Holiday.
Nice. Yeah.
Trying to think of who else. I mean, Gary Payton 1 and 2, but hard to find a third person for them. Bring Sean Kemp out.
Yeah, no one's trying to see the Antetokounmpo shoot, but Ian's killing it from behind the scenes right now, dropping every family we can think of.
Yeah, one time I asked Ian how many brothers exist in the league, and he like nailed so many of them. He's even whipping out like Muhammad Gay and his brother. I'm like, Muhammad Gay is brother in the league? Turns out he's like a 2-way contract guy. I'm like, how did Ian even pull that off and know that one? Gib, which shooting stars team are you making?
So I had 2. I had one which was like, I would love to see a non-NBA, so like football players. I would love to see some NFL guys compete in this. So I had JSN, Lamar Jackson, and Deion Sanders. That was one retired guy. And then if it was going to be NBA dudes, I was like, let's make 2 NBA guys, 1 retired. Let's do an Ivy League team. So we're going to go Danny Wolf, guy Tosan, I don't even know if that's how you, the Princeton kid, and then Butch Graves is the third. Let's just
nice. Get some family points.
For those listening, that's Gibby's dad, former Philadelphia 76er and Cleveland Cavalier. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Too?
Yeah, and Milwaukee Buck.
He was Giannis before Giannis. Butch Graves walked so Giannis could run. Wasn't he drafted in the same draft class as MJ and Barkley too?
Yeah, same draft, 84 draft.
Rookies with Barkley on the 76ers? Mm-hmm. And that's why they're close still? Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah, AV, one time I saw Magic Johnson at a Bloomberg event when I was working for Bloomberg, and he's leaving the event after like doing a lot of pictures with somebody, and I walk up to him and I'm like, "Hey, I know Butch Graves." And he's like, "Come on in, get a picture with me." I'm like, Gibby, not only can I name drop Butch and then get a picture with Magic Johnson, I'd also like to thank you for $14 saved at CVS today. If you didn't know, Gibby comes from a family of 4 kids, and so they have accounts to the house phone number of the home address, AV, which like I know by heart because I used to call Gibby's house all the time pre-cell phone days. You go to Walgreens, you go to CVS, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, you can go to Radio Shack, you go to any department store. Someone in the Graves family has an account linked to his home phone number from back in the day. So I'll be at CVS and I'll just type in his home phone number for anyone wondering what it is. It's 911. And so I'll type in 911 and they look at me, they go, every time they go, "Roberta?" I'm like, "Yep." Okay, let's keep it moving. My shooting stars team was going to be WNBA players as well. I was going to go, Caitlin, Sabrina, Paige Buckets, or Kelsey Plum, or add in your third. But I was gonna just go with 3 WNBA players because that's the way to get the men to try. Threaten that they're gonna lose to the WNBA players on the national stage, and you'll get them actually trying. So
that's what I thought with NFL. If NFL guys are going to show up,
I think it's a great
football
one.
guys can be better at your sport. You're going to try.
Yeah.
It's like Bill Simmons and Nick Wright saying the only way to fix the All-Star game is go black versus white. And so it's like that's the only way people are going to try. So yeah, let's go up against the women here in this. I'll go Bree Stu, Jonquel Jones, and Sabrina Ionescu and make a New York Liberty team.
Cool.
Okay. Let's go over to the actual draft. AV, you are going to randomize the order for us. We're going to start drafting these all-star participants. I think we're doing like $50 per category. If you have one of the winners on your team, you lock up. Everyone else in the draft owes you $50. This draft is best to do with 4 people, given the amount of names and making it an easy 16 divided by 4. Since we always do it, the 3 of us, we weren't going to bring in a 4th. We just eliminated Bobby Portis out of contention. Bobby Portis is in the 3-point competition. I don't know why. So he's
what
not
happens
gonna
if he
win.
wins? What happens if he wins?
We got to talk about it.
If he wins, family win.
Okay.
Okay.
If Bobby Portis, free roll here, because you guys are doing the podcast for me. You guys both get a free roll on Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is on both of your teams automatically and not on mine. So I will pay each of you $50 if Bobby Portis wins. Okay.
Okay.
So,
All right. AV, randomize the order and let's do this thing.
we got it. It's number 1, Gibby. Number 2, Mikey. Last, me, AV.
All right, Gib. First pick in the draft.
This is
You got
tough.
the
I
whole
gotta
board in
keep
front of
track
you.
of who's going too.
Yeah, where are you going? Ian, can you write down the list of teams and then send it to me on the side so that I can say it at the end of the show? Sweet. Thank you.
With the first pick, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to gamify this. If I wanted to go to the events that had less people, and maybe that's a better gamify. But I'm gonna go 3-point. I'm gonna go with the Dookie. I'm going with Khan.
Nice.
He is the odds-on favorite. You know, like you can't even look up the odds for the dunk contest ever since they rigged the vote. Remember when Dwayne Wade rigged the vote?
I don't know if I would say he rigged it, but he made it continue. Yeah. He gave him a 49 instead of a 50. Yeah.
So it would continue, and wasn't it for a Heat player? I don't remember exactly who it was.
I would have said that it was an Aaron Gordon Levine situation, but maybe not.
I'll look it up
Maybe
on the side.
Yeah, it was Aaron Gordon versus someone, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, so ever since that happened and they realized how subjective and skewed the voting was, they actually stopped offering betting odds for it. So you can't actually bet on it. So Khan is the odds-on favorite for the 3-point competition. Gibby takes Khan Knipple. I'm second.
It's all you, baby.
I can't take Bronny James in the dunk contest. The dunk contest participants, by the way, are Kashad Johnson from the Heat, Carter Bryant from the Spurs. Who are the other 2 that I'm missing off the top
Jackson
of my head?
Hayes and Jace Richardson, son of champion
Ooh,
Jason.
that's a good one.
Who is Kashad Johnson? Am I the only one that
Yeah, I literally have no idea.
No clue.
I'm about to draft this.
I
dude.
also
Oh,
have no clue. I'll take Carter Bryant. He's been doing some
I was hoping
insane
he'd fall to me.
things, and he's got the prototypical frame for winning a dunk contest. I think the Spurs might have given him a few extra minutes last night to prepare the NBA fandom for Carter Bryant. I think I'll get a few extra minutes for the Spurs as we record this tonight on Wednesday in the second leg of a back-to-back against the Warriors. Sohan cut from the Spurs today. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let's go Carter Bryant for me in the dunk contest.
Oh man, I was hoping he would fall to me. He seems like a freak athlete, and the Spurs did us all a favor by playing him against the Lakers last night, so we know who he is. Oh man, okay. I guess I got to decide whether I want to split between the 2 small categories and take a dunk contest guy and a skills and a shooting competition category, or whether I want to double up and be the
I only
shooting
have
guy.
one edge in the shooting stars competition. I think I have a legit one team that is worth avoiding like a landmine, and therefore there creates a good possible other teams. But there's one team I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole.
Okay. I also like making my least favorite competition my most heavily invested so that I actually have a reason to watch. In the Shooting Stars competition, give me both the Knicks and the Duke squad.
AV, the Knicks and the Duke squad are neither of my I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Phew. That's pretty good.
No, that team is still out there. And it's not Team Harper. I'll tell you that. My next pick, because it comes back to me in a snake, I'll take Jace Richardson. I'm gonna double up on dunk contest here.
Smart.
Try and game theory one specific competition. So I'll have 2 dunkers. AV's got 2 shooting stars. Gibby, back to you as you go back-to-back picks, taking your second and third.
Okay, I'm gonna go Jackson Hayes because I need someone in a dunk competition, and I don't know who Kashad Johnson is, so I can't bet on him. And then I'm gonna go Team Harper as well.
Okay, that means I don't necessarily even have to take this team. I could just de facto sit out the shooting stars, but I actually think I should automatically grab one team in the race. So the team that I literally just said I wasn't going to touch with a 10-foot pole, I'm going to take Team All-Stars in the shooting stars of Chet, Scotty Barnes, and I forget who the third person is on their team. Do you know who
Rip
the third
Hamilton.
person is?
I think it's Rip.
Oh, it's Richard Hamilton? Okay, fair. This adds some integrity to the squad. Scotty Barnes has participated in a lot of All-Star Weekend stuff. If there's anyone who's the face of doesn't give a fuck in the next generation, like we're all pointing, we all point to Wemby as like he's bringing the integrity back. Not if Scotty Barnes has anything to do with it. That guy is just cracking up and cracking jokes the entire competition. And listeners of the pod know I am a huge Scotty Barnes fan. Gibby knows this take. AV, I take Scotty Barnes over Evan Mobley right now in the NBA. Quick interlude, thoughts on that? I literally think Scotty Barnes is better than Evan Mobley right now.
I don't hate that. He ended up winning the Rookie of the Year over him.
Now he's at his second All-Star, and Mobley's got 1 All-Star, 1 Defensive Player of the Year.
They both have so much potential. Scotty's been good this year because I do think Scotty thrives more on a worse team where he does everything, especially if there's no big. So now you get some huge rebounding numbers out of him. He does well when he can just board and take it coast to coast. I really like Scotty Barnes, but it's not even that he doesn't try because he will try in important games. It's his personality is so sort of goofy that like I don't know how to get him.
To say the word.
No, he's goofy. Like yeah.
Who are you taking for the next 10 years if you had to draft an NBA team? Scotty Barnes or Mobley?
Mobley.
Okay, I'm still taking Barnes. Gibby, Mobley or Barnes?
I'm taking Barnes now. I was surprised.
He's come across.
Because I used to always be like Mobley, but his is because of potential, but it's just
it's not developing exactly.
Offensively, I'm with you. Defensively, he could be the best playoff defender other than.
Secretly, the Graves scouting department said the best way to actually get Evan Mobley to progress is to actually switch my stance and to take Scotty Barnes because Gibby's had some scouting department blunders that we like to make fun of him for. When he promised me Evan Turner was going to be amazing. Now he's
got paid.
An amazing
he got
podcaster.
Paid. He got paid.
Yeah, he did get paid.
Okay. Just to have some skin in the dunk contest game,
go ahead,
I'm going with the Rashad that we've never heard of because
wait.
I don't want.
Was it back to you?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
It was positive. Gibby went Carter first, then you went. Gibby went Con first, then you went Carter, then I went Knicks and Duke, then you went Jace. You shouldn't have got to pick. Okay.
Then I went Jackson and Dylan Harper, and now Fid
took Team All Stars. Okay, and now
back Team All Stars. Great.
Okay, we're good.
So I want to get in the dunk contest. I'm gonna look up who Rashad Johnson is.
It's Kashad Johnson with a K.
Oh, it's Kashad. You know, I'm thinking like this is ATL and this is Tip playing Rashad, but it's not. Kashad Johnson. Okay, I'm gonna change it to a K. Congratulations, Kashad. And then I'm moving right to the 3-point contest. Give me Dame. He's got time on his hands. He's won this in the past. Do you need an Achilles to shoot threes? Probably.
All right, back to me. And I think we're only at 3-point players left, and
Yeah.
Khan and Dame are both the ones that have been taken off the board.
Yeah.
Booker, Murray, Maxey, Donovan Mitchell. Booker, Murray, Maxey, Donovan Mitchell. Norm Powell's in it too, but I'm not taking Norm. I'll go Booker. He hasn't been efficient this year, but he's participated before, and he's been in a lot of these kind of spotlight situations.
He's got the style shot that translates.
That
he shoots it a little lower, quicker, picks it up easy.
I think it is telling that he's still third in the odds. So that was ultimately why I did it. I'm just looking at him like he's plus 550. The other guys are plus 600. So it's like it's a hair of a difference in the implied percentages. So yeah, I'll take Booker.
So I got 2 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jamal Murray.
Nice.
I want to take Norm, but I don't. I'm gonna take Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, so that means I get Maxey and Austin gets Norm.
Nice. I like the Maxey pick too. He's got another one of those sort of low, quick shots.
Are we doing one Finals MVP from the All-Star game as well on Sunday? Just a shot in the dark, and if you get it,
I tried to stoke those flames in the text chat. No one responded, I
assumed we were still including one Finals MVP pick, but we just weren't going to make it we weren't going to do someone having 2 Finals MVPs so that we could also fit Bobby Portis in. Does that make sense? So let's also, does that change how you would you'd still take Norm, I assume, over? Yeah, you're going to have first pick anyway, so I don't think it changes anything. So take one pick at a Finals MVP choice, and then I'll go next, and Gibby will go third.
6. And it's okay. So I'm thinking I want to take someone on Team America. I do think they're going to try harder and try and win this. I don't want some. I took Ant, and there was a big mess. I don't know if he was going to necessarily try. Who's going to try? Oh, man, I need someone younger. Wemby said he's going to try?
Oh, yeah. Wemby says he's definitely trying.
All right, give me Wemby. That'll be fun.
All right, Finals MVP for the All-Star weekend. Victor Wembanyama is the odds-on favorite. Maxey is actually the second.
Appreciate
Booker, Cade Cunningham, Durant, and Donovan Mitchell. I don't see any of them being the guy. Is Ant going to even try?
Yeah, that's what made me scared. I don't think he cares about this. He might, but I don't know.
Yeah, but if he gets hot and just starts doing crazy things from 3 and puts on the dunk show with it too, like I don't think Cade's gonna. Maybe Cade gets it because of like the assists, and he's gonna be throwing lobs to everybody, and it looks nice on the box score after. But like the cheat code was always Giannis, because it's like Giannis is gonna put up like 30 and 18 in this game just because he'll just do things from under the rim, and he ends up like
the Giannis AD style, where if it's like so easy for you to gazelle into a dunk that you don't need to use any energy, and no one's gonna play defense, you're fine.
Yeah, I just don't think we have that. Like, if Jalen Johnson was starting, I would do it. I just don't think that exists. That is Wemby, honestly. Like, Wemby's like really the only good candidate here. I will go. I'm between Ant and Jaylen Brown. I'm gonna go Jaylen Brown.
Damn it, Finn.
Let's go. You stole Bronny from me. I steal Jaylen Brown.
Damn it, that is exactly who I wanted. All right, I'm going Ant.
Nice.
Okay. All right, that gets us done in exactly an hour. Thank you to Gib. Thank you to AV.
Nice.
To quickly read out the teams, AV, you have them all listed, or
yeah, I do. I have the Knicks and Duke in the skills competition. I have Kashad Johnson, aka not Rashad Johnson, in the dunk contest. Then I have Damon Norm for 3 and Wemby for MVP. Gibby has Khan for the 3-point contest we took early. Then he also has Jamal D. Mitch. And then for the dunk contest, he has Jackson Hayes for shooting. He has the Harper family for MVP. He has Ant. You took Carter Bryant, my favorite pick there. You got it second. And Jace for dunk. I feel like you got that locked up. For shooting, you have Won't Touch Him with a 10-foot pole, Chet Barnes and Rip. For dunk, you have Book and Maxey and JB MVP. And there's a realistic world where at the end of this year, JB has a finals MVP, a league MVP, and an all-star MVP. It could happen.
Last thing I want to say, I think oh no, he was okay. So when Dwayne Wade did it, it was Derrick Jones Jr. who won the 2020.
Who was on the Heat at the time?
Who was on the Heat at the time.
Double
so it was him doing a Heat player. Okay, that wraps us up. Thank you to Gibby. Thank you to AV. Thank you to Ian in the back. I hope everyone enjoyed the nice little math lesson on calculating theoretical holds. I hope that you guys agreed or found some value in who we would vote for in the awards, not who we would bet on, but who we would vote for this far into the season. We'll see how it translates rest of the season. Had a fun discussion about who we would add to the All-Star contest. Bronny James being added to the slam dunk contest would make it appointment viewing. I hope the league asked him. And then we did the All-Star draft. I highly encourage people, please don't bet on FanDuel on the All-Star game, or don't bet on DraftKings for the slam dunk competition or the 3-point. And I say this every year, and this is exactly what happens. Somebody bets it who listens to the show. Somebody gets lucky that they ended up winning it, and they send me their winning ticket saying, listen to your show, still bet it, but I won. Like, cool. I don't give a fuck. Let me just get that clear. I don't give a shit if you actually end up betting it and you win. It's a terrible bet to place. This is more about process and having fun and still with the friends. On the show day to day, it's all about process and gaining value on our tickets. It's damn near impossible. If you think you have an actual edge, please reach out to me beforehand and let me know, and we could help evaluate that in real time before the weekend. So let's get on out of here. You guys will see me next week. We are doing a gambling Q&A on Monday with professional poker player Drew Johnson. Try and squeeze in maybe a futures conversation with win totals that will reopen on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we will get back to doing the normal show when NBA games return on Thursday. I'm expecting to do a normal show on Wednesday because I think we'll have odds. So maybe a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday show next week. Thank you to everybody listening. Please drop a like on the stream. And as always, peace out.